Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness, there are 15 people here immediately. 16 people, what the heck? Apparently, this is a little bit more well-liked than Need for Speed. Um, I'm just trying to set up my audio here. Apparently, all my inputs got reset, which sucks. It's also, oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. We good. Yeah, that's working. All right. So I figured that today, because I haven't got a video ready for today, admittedly. I've been working on some other stuff behind the scenes, and I just didn't really think about making a video for this week. So I decided instead, let's do a live stream. Let's have some fun. If you're hearing birds, it's because I have the window open because it's beautiful here. I might close that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just quickly share this with the Discord, and then we'll get moving. So I want to make a kind of a supercar today because I sort of realized that basically none of the cars I've made recently have actually been good, and so I should probably make something. You don't hear the birds? Oh, there. Okay. So my house. I have like two trees in my backyard, but then my neighbors have a bunch of trees, so it just means that the birds are literally everywhere, and they also like to poop all over my car, which is really annoying. But yeah. So how's everybody doing today? It is a beautiful Saturday, a little bit of an overcast day, but to be honest, overcast is kind of my favorite temperature. That's not the right way to put it. Favorite weather. I like when it's overcast. Just because I do really poorly in the sun. Go watch my skin video if you want some more info on that. So I put the magnum opus in the thumbnail just because I was thinking of trying to make something decent, and I feel like if you look at my recent vehicles, the Barbie car, kind of debatable on whether or not it's good. The carriage is terrible. This is pretty decent. I like how it drives. This Xbox thing is absolutely horrible. This is pretty awesome, but it's not very realistic. Karen Commander thing, I don't know why, but every time I make one of these, people seem to go nuts. So, yeah, goodness. And then Exo Cage Bugo, I actually like this thing quite a bit. And then the last kind of good semi-realistic vehicle is probably the Magnum Opus Sahara version. And then obviously I have a whole bunch of other stuff, like way too much stuff. I should probably delete some of this stuff, actually. I don't think we need various stages of the Infinity. Anyway. So I do actually eventually plan to make my Infinity in automation, but... or my Hyundai in automation. Hyundai. Somebody said it's kind of like pronouncing it like you would say Sunday. Or, yeah, Sunday as in... the ice cream. So it's like Hyundai, Sunday, Hyundai. I gotta try and pronounce that correctly. But yeah, eventually I will make my Tibron in automation. I'm just trying to think about that. Trying to plan ahead. The car is actually road legal now, by the way. My Tibron is fully road legal, fully ready to go. I just have to get a safety. Oh, sorry, I have to get this. The safety is done and already handed in. I just have to get a an alignment. That's what I'm missing. But anyway. How's it going this beautiful Saturday morning? Is it actually nice where you are? people. Like I said, it's kind of overcast here. It has been a super hot week. Just started up the air conditioning in my house for the first time, and yeah, it actually works, which is good. There we go. Yeah. Pretty hot. Yeah, no, it has been it's been super hot here as well. I'm guessing if you're in the opposite hemisphere, then it's likely getting into your winter, but not so much here. 30C, yeah, it's been. I think yesterday my Infinity was saying that it is 34 here, which is a lot. It's a lot more than the usual. So I know we're going to be tempted in this video to attempt to make something that's just absolutely stupid, and that is always an option. There's also a GTR body. Ooh, I didn't even know I had this. There's a convertible GTR body. All right, we'll consider that. GTR is definitely an option. Melting with no AC. Yeah. Oh, there's a Bugatti. AC is a necessary thing here. The thing that's weird about Canada, specifically Ontario, where I live, is that like it hit 34 degrees, positive 34 Celsius yesterday, but sometimes in the winter it'll hit negative 34. Like probably about the same amount of times that it hits positive 34, it'll hit negative 34, and so the temperature difference here is just nuts. Like you have to have heat, you have to have AC. The difference in temperature can be plus or minus like 60 degrees, which is a very significant difference. So like if you work outside here, it is just treacherous. Like you have to be prepared for any weather. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like my garage is unheated, so I prefer the like slightly cooler spring and fall days, but at the same time in the summer, like I walked in there this week and it was so humid in there because there's no AC. It's just it's going to be a pain in the butt to work during the summer in that garage. But anyway, I think we should go GTR body. I'm kind of just feeling that GTR. So Missouri is a little bit more, little bit more level in terms of temperature. I think it's like it just seems to be my area that that's kind of like this. Like I live in sort of southern, like mid to southern Ontario area, and I've used to live more south than I do currently, but like man, the temperature here is just nuts. Like if you live in BC, specifically closer to the ocean, it doesn't get as cold and it doesn't get as hot just because the ocean kind of regulates the temperatures. But where I am at the moment, I live very close to two large lakes, but no oceans, unfortunately. So, well, actually, you know what? GTR maybe isn't the most exotic thing. Let's go. I'm gonna make a choice here because we should probably start moving somewhere. These hypercars here are ridiculously cool. I like the idea as well of you say crossplane V8, 4.35 liters, very specific. But I was thinking about just using this body here because this one looks really fat and kind of short. This one just seems like, I don't know. I just feel like longer is better. 3 meter long, big lad, and this is going to be interesting to morph as well. Yeah, I think this will be a good basis. Let's try and be unique. Like I have all day to work on this. The only other thing I need to do today is work on the barbecue. Gotta start getting ready for summer. So yeah. So New York, you're saying, is like a 40-degree difference. Um, if where I am, it's more like 60, 70-degree difference sometimes. 7.3. Very specific. Rookie numbers. Pump those numbers up. Get hot. Come on. Okay, so let's set a budget. Let's try not to go over. I'm gonna put it right here just so I don't forget. Let's not go over $2 million. That's 200,000. 2 million. An Aston. Oh, a Valkyrie. That's cool. I haven't used this one at all, so I'm kind of interested to see what we can do with it. Specifically, if we make things out of partial carbon fiber, we go for a monocoque chassis. This is blowing up my eardrums because of how loud it is. 80-degree Fahrenheit. See, I don't know anything about Fahrenheit, so I know 32 Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. Is that what the conversion is? Carbon fiber. This is going to get really expensive. And let's go for a mid-longitudinal engine, and let's start with the good stuff here. That seems pretty reasonable, like at temperatures in Germany. From what you're saying, obviously, like when I say Canada, I can't speak for all of Canada because Canada is the second largest country by landmass in the world. Like the temperature variance between different areas is huge, even just in Ontario. Like Ontario is a huge province, so I mean you can go from living close to the U.S. border in the Niagara region all the way up to the tippity top James Bay or something, and it's the temperature difference there is just shockingly different. But anyway, push rods. This is going to shrink down our capabilities a little bit, but that's fine. We'll mess with the quality stuff later because that's gonna tend to mess things up thoroughly. I'm actually gonna. This might be a mistake, but I might try to go for rear wheel drive. Most sort of supercars these days are all wheel drive, because it just makes sense. Like, and also generally they have like exotic engines, like a V10. You don't see that in most vehicles, or V12. Boxer 6 is a bit strange for something like this. Even with like an inline engine, it would be very, very strange. So I think I'm going to give it a V10 just because I think that is interesting, and we'll make it out of magnesium. But you know what? Okay, here's the thing. Every supercar needs a gimmick. every supercar needs a gimmick with the engine. Like Koenigsegg 1:1 is 1:1 weight ratio, although arguably that's more of a hypercar. Pretty much everything from Koenigsegg is a hypercar. Let's be real. Lamborghinis, I would say, are kind of just expensive. Their gimmick is that it's got Lamborghini on the front of it most of the time, but then like stuff like Bugatti is like, it's super fast, like the fastest in the world. The Chiron is just ridiculously fast. That type of thing. I remember the Veyron when that came out, and they're like one of the fastest cars in the world in a straight line, but also a huge, like, fat lad with a V16 or W16. But man, oh man, every supercar and hypercar seems to need a gimmick, because otherwise people just look at it and go, okay, that's a very expensive car, what's unique about it? So I don't know, we got to figure out what our gimmick is. And apparently we have a ton of room to work with. Wow, we have a lot of room to work with. We could potentially put a 12 liter. Oh man. Scratch that. We could potentially fit a 13.5 liter V10 in this body if we're going for rear wheel drive, which is insane. Absolutely massive engine. See, I don't want it to make like 10,000 horsepower. I was actually just hoping to get 1,000. I was not gonna try and make this into a ridiculous burnout machine, but I mean, times are a changing, aren't they? Oh my goodness. That's pretty fat. That is actually really fat. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. The 5 is really weird looking. Like if you look at that, it's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. That's just strange. Very, very strange. And there isn't really much difference between 4 and 5 other than we can get VVL on 4. But anyway. 900 horsepower. Yeah, it seems like if we're trying to be realistic, then like 900,000 horsepower is probably the best bet. If we wanted to just go absolutely insane, then this engine at 13 and a half liters in currently square as well, it's a 120, this thing could just be like extremely powerful in this game. With high quality components, this could be a ridiculous engine. What I'm going to do is we're still going to keep it big, but we have to decide whether it's going to be a stroker or it's going to be super, super high in the old torque department. No turbos? Yeah, no, it's probably not going to be turboed because I don't want to make it too crazy. High RPM. Let's that means we're gonna have to lower. Wait, that means we're gonna have to lower this to get higher RPM. Let's say let's even it down just a little bit. Let's make it a 13 liter, and that'll be its gimmick. The fact that it is indeed exactly 13 liters, just for fun, a 13 liter. 13 liter V10 sounds pretty good to me. Let's put VVL on it just because I like VVL, and we are currently set up to be rear wheel drive, so this could be terrible. Hey, good morning, clickbait the proto. Wait, clickbait. Yeah, okay. Only 13 liters? Man, I'm so sad. Okay, billet steel. We want high RPM, so we go lightweight stuff, and we want high RPM again, so we go lightweight. We might come down and change the variant capacity or other things. Yeah, no, this is definitely crossing into hypercar territory. Is it not? There we go. Let me just put some commas in here. Sorry, European people who use commas as periods. Oh no, I realize that the engine probably isn't going to work, but that's where the fun comes in. If we skip turbos, because unfortunately, I mean, turbos are usually, I mean, in pretty much every hypercar is turbocharged these days, unless it's one of those like very special edition Porsche GT3 or GT2 or GT3 cars. Race ultimate. I really hate this engine cover, so I'm going to be changing that as fast as we can. We don't need those. Are we going to have cats? I guess we probably will need those. Straight through. Straight through. Give it a bypass. Alright, 670 and 676.7 horsepower without any tuning. And the space age has got to go. It's got to be classic. If it's not classic, then it's not worth it. Okay, I guess we can get on to tuning. Oh man, so we don't actually have much tuning space with it being only NA. And yeah, you're right, it can only go up to 7,000. That's not ideal, is it? Yeah, well, the reason for that is probably just because it's so square. So maybe we have to compromise again. 12 and a half, maybe? You can see this has gone up, by the way. 75. If we want extremely high revving, then we have to go down far here, like basically as far as possible. $10,000 something. Basically what I'm saying is if we're going to commit to the gimmick, we really have to commit to the gimmick and go for an 8-liter, just ridiculously wide bore, no stroke, 10,000 RPM V10. Well, I mean, that's always an option, isn't it? Always a thought. We can go back and change it at any time, so, I mean, this game is flexible. Just to give you an idea of what that looks like, all the way up, and valve float issues. Maybe a couple valve float issues. One liter per cylinder, 10 liter. Fuel economy, yeah, I don't think we're too concerned about fuel economy. Let's be real honest. $676 horsepower. Obviously, we want more than that. I was actually hoping to get up to 10,300 RPM, but as you can see, we are struggling a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, all it took to fix the valve float issues was just extreme quality slider usage. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, no, this curve is extremely funky. Like, it makes power... Okay, it makes 60 horsepower when it's idling, and then up here, it makes power, and then it just dies. Like, the torque is just no. Just please don't even bother. Yeah, we could get more RPM just by doing this, but it's not really much. we can get up to almost 11,000 RPM, which I don't think BeamNG is going to be too kind to us about, to be honest with you. I mean, that's a lot of RPM. I think what we can do is let's compromise slightly. Let's go. It's going to be no, that's exactly what I was thinking, Elliot. 10 liters, 10 cylinders, 10,000 RPM. That's where I see things going right now. And at the moment, we are close, but not quite there. 10,000 RPM exactly. Now we're just gonna have to max the quality, aren't we? Something we can do is go for 5. and just go really, really high in the cam profile, and then we actually make power at the top end, which means that this car, like, you can see it has power, and then it just kind of sits at that power for a while, which is kind of fun. Oh, I just realized the exhaust is probably, yeah, the exhaust is extremely restrictive. Yeah, we make a little bit more power than I had previously mentioned. 1,000, 1,190, pretty much 1,200 horsepower, almost. Goodness. Yeah, no, anytime you make something that's just like super, super powerful, um, immediately turn up the exhaust, because that's going to be your downfall. I'm just kind of thinking about where we should take this next, because we're pretty close to the old 10,000 RPM mark. We can get away with a little bit of stress, but maybe not. Maybe not too much. Nah, not too much. Oh, we could just go for like a 10,000 theme everywhere. Make it like it's a V10. So its theme basically is 10. 10 everything. 10,000 horsepower. 10,000 horsepower. No, okay, it's not gonna have 10,000 horsepower. Maybe it's got to have at least 1,000 horsepower. Maybe we can try to round it to be 1010 or something. Overly stupid. Oh, are you hearing the birds now? The window's like very, very slightly open, so that would be why. Oh yeah, I forgot about file float. I'm trying to take off some money from this, because I feel like it's gonna end up all being in the chassis. The 10 Trinity. Can we roleplay? Wait, what kind of thing are you attempting to roleplay here? We need to know that first before you decide that you want to roleplay. Oh yeah, no, money is slightly an object. You can see we're hardly using any octane at all, which is a good thing. That means we have a lot of tuning room. I guess we can just kind of go for it, eh? We can just start working. Yeah, I mean, we may as well. Let's go for a 1,110 horsepower. Use low quality fuel. Let's use like oh yeah, we could totally get away with low quality fuel. This thing could run on anything basically. It runs on alcohol, and that's it. Having a super high cam profile is actually a mistake on these kind of cars. And the reason for that is that this thing is totally gutless down low. It's got like not really that much horsepower until you hit, oh, okay, fine, maybe 2,000 RPM, you get 200 horsepower. 484 at 4,000. 800 horsepower at 6,000. Like, you really have to rev the heck out of it to get any power. And that's just kind of where it is. '84 octane. Okay, let's try first to just max the heck out of it. Let's just go for the most amount of power we can get with our current quality settings. 1,253 horsepower. No turbos still. Fuel mixture's down, but we can raise this up all the way, actually. And that's a lot of power there. And then we can just keep raising this until we run out of fuel. Okay, 1,000. Wait a minute, was I losing power? 1,333.2 horsepower is kind of around the maximum for this. Hey, thank you, Greg, for the donation. 1010 horsepower. I feel you on that. That's kind of what I was thinking. Either that or going 1110 horsepower. Do I speak Italian? No, I do not speak Italian. I don't speak Italian, yeah, sorry. A very odd question, though. The compression on this is just so ridiculously high. We could probably get a bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more out of the exhaust. 1,345 horsepower. I mean that would be fun, but it's not quite. It's not quite right. I feel like it's no, it doesn't even have turbo lag because it doesn't have turbos. I feel like I can do worse. I feel like I can do a lot worse. Okay, this is a bad idea. We just go max fuel and then max the compression and then bring the fuel down. It makes 6 horsepower. Yeah, that was a terrible idea. 143. Oh man, having a 6 horsepower supercar seems like a lot of fun. As you can probably tell, I'm basically just messing around at this point. I realize that this engine is taking a turn for the worst, so I'm going to reel things back a little bit. Let's go. Let's down tune it on purpose. Let's bring it down. I'm kind of curious as well as what the bypass will do. 50 horsepower difference when you take off the bypass. That's actually a decent amount. But let's tune it down on purpose to have reasonable fuel economy, which is currently 18.7%, and then 1,100 horsepower is my compromise. 1,100 horsepower. If we can get 1,110, then that just makes it even more fun. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh geez, we make too much power. Turn it down. Turn it down. Super low compression ratio. Wow, 6-1. Oh my goodness. (1,008 horsepower exactly. Let's see if we can get that lower. Oh, there it is right there. 1,110 horsepower. Yes, that is it. That is it. And the 10,000 RPM isn't very well used, but it's fine. Oh no, do we have to go 10-1 compression? I believe that this is the perfect amount, because I do want to have more than 110 or 1,010. So if we go 1,110, then it's like just that 100 extra horsepower, 10%-ish more power. It's beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful. And yes, we're only using 66 octane, which means that we could theoretically run on low quality fuel just for the fun of it. You know what? This engine is absolutely horrible. It is terrible, but it is beautiful at the same time. Beautiful, terrible. I love it. Okay, let's go on to the rest of the car, because I swear I spent like half an hour just on the engine. We're not even done with the engine yet. It needs a color. We kind of have to decide what to make the color. Kind of like a really nice dark blue, maybe. take away the flake. I'm a big fan of these. Make it purple. I mean, some bad suggestions, some good suggestions from you guys, mostly bad. Just kidding. I'm good with the blue and black. We can come back and change it if we really need to. But yeah, that is that. We got some work to do in terms of the movement of things. The wheels have disappeared, which is always a good sign. Oh, that's really... There we go. Ooh. No, that's... somewhere in the middle. I'm just kind of thinking about how I want to style this beast, because it's big. She big, and there's a lot of work that we can do. We could go extremely wide. I think I'm just gonna go like slightly thin. Maybe a little bit wider on the back. Oh jeez. The back end is just like, there's just so much room there. There's just nothing in that space, which is interesting. I really like this overall shape here. Like if we follow it down and then we kind of pop off the back, that's really cool. But I hate how deep this is. Like I really wish I could raise this up. So that's one of the first things I'm going to try to do. I also was thinking about doing some other stuff. Ooh, we can raise that. Nah, I like it low. I think that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. I think that's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, we do need to come up with a name for this thing as well, by the way. So that'll be interesting when it happens. The engine in here is gonna sit... Oh, it's already in there, but she's way in the back, so we have all the room in the front to do what we want. Obviously an interior and stuff like that, like, again, we have a bit of time, so we may as well just start loading it up with stuff. And I was thinking as well of doing it in a deep blue, just because I kind of like the look of it. It's very, very similar to what we're doing on the engine itself. For now, I'm going to leave it slightly lighter, and then we can come back and hit it with the good stuff. And also make it chrome. Okay, maybe that's just a little bit too chrome. Okay, it only has one trim piece, and it's this. Like, I think this needs to be carbon fiber. Oh no, that's ugly as heck. This is horrible. Delete, delete, delete. There we go. Cosworth blue. Yeah, no, it is kind of Cosworth blue, isn't it? I feel that blue always goes best with white wheels. That's just my personal opinion. So yeah, we'll go with this. I mean, the motor's all aluminum, so it can't be too bad. But yeah, we'll see. Rear wheel drive, by the way, with a dual clutch. There she is, hanging out in the back. That's a big old lad back there that we need to contend with. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, and this is important because I really want to hit the stance like exact, is I'm going to skip ahead to the wheels. We're going to stance this thing properly, and then we're going to go and do the rest of it. So we got to pick wheels. Now, supercars these days usually have massive, kind of ridiculous patterned wheels. I'm going to follow that trend, so they're going to be huge, probably 20s or bigger. Fluxation variation. Dark gold. You know, dark gold is the Subaru way. If we wanted to get full Cadillac Escalade on this, we could go with these, but it's maybe a bit too much. A lot of these just look like crappy aftermarket rims, like especially these. I don't know why, but this just screams like Need for Speed Underground to me. Oh, white walls. That's a terrible, awesome idea. Awesomely terrible idea. Okay, I'm partial to... I don't know what the difference between those is, but I'm partial to these here. They kind of look like the sun, so we could potentially call this something to do with the sun, which would be hilarious. Oh, those are interesting. You know what we can do as well? Once we pick wheels, let's go back to colors and modify the color of the wheels. Hubcaps. I'm now putting hubcaps on my hypercar, and there are the turbo fans, if that's what you're after. Oh, the classic Invisa wheels. These ones I found funny. Like straight out of Forza. And there's the hubcaps right there. Wheels off a Ford Escort. That's basically what this is. Oh yeah, no, this stuff is all from the workshop. There are probably hundreds of wheels that you can get, and that's what I'm scrolling through now. Just tons and tons of different wheels. Some like weird exotic shapes and some normal stuff. But it's cool that people have taken the time to make all this. There's also this, which I still don't understand, but 10 spokes, darn. That is a good thing. How many spokes do these have? More than 10. Oh, that's actually going to be tricky if we try to do that. Oh, these have 10. 10 spokes. Am I just bad at counting, or is that actually 10? It seems like it's 10. Okay, you know what? Let's go with that then. I don't hate it. It's not amazing. Oh man, they're 10 spokes. I can't believe that we found 10 spoke rims immediately like that. I'm wondering now if it's more common than I thought, because I was going to go with rims that had way more than 10. All right, let's go quickly through this. I'm not going to bother with a lot of this stuff yet. We'll come back and fix it. I just want to make it so that our wheels are sitting proper, mostly the offset, because if they're sitting too far on the inside, then they're just going to look weird, and if they're too far on the outside, then obviously they look weird as well. 375s, goodness. Let's go 395s on the back. Two-stroke? That's not even possible in this game. Those are some massive lads. Huge wheels. 22s as well. Okay, we can't go bigger than 22, otherwise we're going to screw up our wheel size, but yeah, just huge. Let's make them carbon. Alright. That's pretty cool. Yeah, remember from way at the beginning, I know there are 115 of you here, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Like this stream if you want to. But the original intention for this was to make something good. And so if it doesn't turn out as good, I kind of failed in my objective here today, which is fine, but I'm trying to make something decent, so let's try and make it decent. First thing I'm going to do is put a Tesla grill on it. No, just kidding. Let's not do that. Okay, let's do some important stuff first. There's a lot of different things that I want to do today to this, depending on how tired I get in the next hour, but let's make the windows a little bit transparent so we can actually see into them. 95 transparency is usually decent, like it allows you to actually see through them without too much tint. You have much faith, are you sure? Do not put faith into me. This car, it just in general has extremely low bodywork. Like the wheels themselves stick out by like just a tiny amount, which is fine, but it's not quite what I'm after. And no, I will not put on 10 door handles or 10 spoilers. That is not going to happen. That is just not going to happen. But let's quickly first go to body molding, because we have truck beds and oh my goodness. Why did they come default mirrored? Like, why would they think that you're going to end up mirroring something like this? You know, I don't think I've ever actually used these successfully. However, I do think that they're hilarious. Oh my goodness. See, some people wanted to see things ruined, so I'm mildly ruining them. Just for fun. Now that is a hypercar if I've ever seen one. Beautiful. Oh yeah, we could make a like a ridiculous chop truck with this at some point. We will eventually. There will be 10 of something on there. 10 scoops, 10 door handles, 10 fuel caps, 10 windshield wipers. Oh, please no. Maybe in the theme of everything just being 10, we can do something with the exhaust perhaps, but I don't want to go overboard with that. What I'd like to do, ideally, is cut off a whole bunch of this back end and then use the rest to kind of make this see-through so you can see the engine, because that's what I did on the Magnum Opus, and I really like that look personally. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we got our first cut. I'm using them in small amounts because these pieces tend to not work if you make them too big. So that's why I'm doing it like this, if you were wondering. We got a big old cut. Those tires, oh wait, no, that's the interior bodywork parts. We do actually have mufflers and stuff, so let's just quickly see what that'll look like. Ooh. Keeping in mind, of course, that there has to be 2 of this. Now that. That's only 4 in each, so that's only 8. That's not going to work. We'll have to come back to it. Oh geez, no, come back, come back. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be awkward, but is that a bad thing? Maybe. Maybe. Where's the license plate? What license plate? You don't need a license to drive this. Actually, you probably need some kind of like supercar driver license to drive something as powerful as this. 1,000 horsepower, 1,110 horsepower. Actually, we didn't even name the thing. Let's just call it that for now. Yeah, that's a huge cut on the back. I kind of like where this is going. I think having that cutout just massive is gonna be good. 111 viewers, 111 likes. Nice. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to cleanly cut out these side pieces just from experience. I know that that's not easy to do. So what I'm going to do instead is like try to mask this crappy line around the outside, and then we will kind of fake this in with some triangles. That's sort of my thinking. The reason I cut it out is just because it's easier to get a big area, and then we can work with it. But having the back end cut out is something that I like on these kind of cars, and I think it'll be cool. Because I'm also intending on putting a wing in between these things, and then we can do like lights here, or maybe we can make them a little bit more like realistic. I'm not sure. 10 yards long. This thing is 3 meters long, so that's not quite 10 yards. But yeah, I just gotta find the piece I want. Oh, piece, where did you go? It's probably going to be this. It's like, oh brother, where art thou? If we just make this kind of big and, wow, that's really deep. Maybe that's a little bit too deep. I have failed. That's not quite what I wanted. So when I'm making cars for videos, like usually I have kind of an idea of what I'm doing. This time it's more just like, hey, let's just make something. And so that's why it takes longer to come up with things. Usually when I record, like it takes me like 1 to 2 hours depending on what it is. Sometimes if I'm making something complex, it'll be longer than that, but generally speaking 1 to 2 hours, and then I have something made. So I've tried to challenge myself recently, and you'll see that video soon-ish, to make something in way less time than that, and it's hopefully going well. Oh, 10 feet, yeah, I guess we can use Imperial to our advantage there. Bus taillights? Interesting idea. I'm kind of thinking about putting taillights on, and sort of like I mentioned that I do this before, but whenever I'm just like stuck on something and I don't know exactly what I want to do with it, I'll move on to the next part and then come back to what I was working on. Yeah, I think what we can do is we can use these modular wings, but I usually start on the next thing, put that down so I have something on there, and then come back to it. Oh, this is gonna be off, isn't it? Can you hear the birds chirping now? The beautiful nature that this car actually doesn't destroy, because it's remarkably efficient for something so ridiculously awful. That is not thick enough in the slightest, but that's kind of the idea that I'm going for. Frog taillights? What kind of idea is that? Straight elements. The problem with these so far that I'm seeing is they curve too much, which isn't quite ideal. Not quite what I wanted. However, there's always big lad like one of these things. Kind of when I'm unsure what to put, I'll just like slap on something huge like this and just kind of call it a day. But we will try to avoid doing that today. There's always an STI wing as well. Oh. A message from the great beyond said, "Don't do it. Stop what you're doing now." Oh my goodness. Okay, if I can't decide what I'm going to do there, then this is going to be a train wreck. Maybe we can focus on the 10 taillight idea. There are modular pieces here as well. Oh jeez, so many options. Let's make headlights into taillights. I kind of feel like circles are probably the best bet for this thing. Like, it just feels like that would make the most sense. At least in my mind. Which is a bit of a confusing mess sometimes. Let's prototype. So what I was thinking we would do is copy the Corvette exactly. Not really, but kind of. So that immediately gives us 4. That's not quite enough. We need more than that. So then duplicate again. This time shrink them down. It's going to look like spider eyes, isn't it? And now we have 6. But again, that's not really enough. So what if we shrink this down? Oh, I just made it bigger. And then duplicate it. That gives us 8. This is so bad. And then duplicate this. Oh my goodness, that's 10. I worry about myself sometimes. If we take this and just kind of plant it in the center and then move these around. What we could do probably is get away with having these small ones be like reversing lights and things. That's extremely unique, but it's very, very strange. You know what? Trying to make this car look really nice is starting to just fly off the table. We're just going for, yeah, you know what? It should probably look like something that exists somewhere, maybe not Earth, but in a place that mildly resembles Earth. It actually really does look like a spider, and I didn't originally intend for that, but I'm kind of embracing it at this point. So we're gonna have issues with fitment with this thing, but that's kind of part of the point of it. I can just put these up to layer 4. Whoops, this one. Oh my goodness. Just picture those red. That'd be the difference there. It's not horrible, is it? Wait, I'm missing. Oh, okay. Yeah, apologies to anybody who's mildly afraid of spiders because your heart might be broken. My wife is also terribly afraid of spiders, so she is not here at the moment. I can get away with making terrible stuff like this. Let's see. Let's make it worse. Let's make it well worse. It's gonna look like something out of Spy Kids. I swear this, I'm gonna have to change the year of this to 1990. "2003, that's what this car's real year is. You know, okay, that's not terrible. It could be worse than that. That's not that bad. Right, guys? That's not terrible, is it? Okay, let me start recoloring these. It would have been easier if I just made the original one the colors I want, but yeah, I didn't do that, so we all suffer today. Oh, this is such a good idea. That's actually not at all. What if I just made this all white? This has got to be breaking some kind of like car code somewhere, making the black, making your taillights white. I'm liking this though. And then we can go back, change the actual housing color itself to be red as we can get within reason. Okay, that's not quite the right red. Yeah, it's gonna have to be dark. Could this be worse? Oh, yeah, it could, yeah. Yeah, it could, yeah, you know what, yeah. This being translucent doesn't really matter, so I'm actually just going to make it carbon fiber. Oh my goodness. LEDs. You know, I'm questioning everything at the moment, but I think that's part of the fun. So these ones will all be that, and then maybe this will be a turn signal, and then this can be a reversing light. There. Indicator, that's going to be a... Oh, I have to go around and do this to every single piece of this. That's reversing light. This, brake light, brake light, brake light, brake light. Maybe, yeah, that'll have to be a brake light too. And then this can be our taillight. It's beautiful. Hey, thanks for the donation. I'm doing okay. I'm creating a spider car by accident. Something that was supposed to be good, and now it's currently on the down low, on the downhill, and also down low. It's turning out weird, and I mean, we can always make it worse. I have other means of doing that. Please don't ban me, YouTube. I'm appeasing the masses right now. That's what that is. That's what this is called. Appeasing the masses. We'll just pretend that's not there while we continue to work on the back. Xbox Series X. That's not really what I was going for, to be honest, but hey, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Okay, I have a new idea. It's basically this, and for some reason this also includes a third brake light. Oh, that's actually going to cut into the taillights, isn't it? That's not quite ideal, but this thing is pretty much the right shape. We don't need that brake light though. Yeah, there we go, that's perfect. Oh my goodness. Looks like the first gen Tesla Roadster taillight. You know, I don't even remember what the first gen Roadster looks like, but I guess so. Oh, this could actually be like a design piece if it goes around the headlights, although, I mean, I don't hate it. It's actually not that bad. If we can pop this out, we'll probably make it 3D at this point. Pop it out quite a bit. Oh, too much, too much. Back in there. Get back in there, you. Oh, man, we need one that turns like ever so slightly more. That one's flat. Yeah, so it's got to be the first one. Back to 2D. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now. We'll have to... Actually, no, I'm not, because it's horrible. We'll have to come back and put a big wing on this at some point, because it just kind of needs this. Will I re-upload this? I'm gonna have this... it'll be up right after this video, like right after the stream ends. So, yeah, don't worry. It's not gonna disappear forever or anything like that. The stream will be up immediately. Are you trying to tell me to add anime babes around this entire thing? That's not quite what we're going for here. We're not going for the old demonetization today. But that is always a good option. I'm just kidding. Please don't sue. That makes it have a weird lip on it, which is kind of cool. I'm just going to start throwing down some ideas, and if they don't stick immediately, then that's kind of just how it goes. Not everything is perfect the first time. Have British flags, waifu stickers. Oh no, please. We're getting out of control again, just like with the engine. Starting to lose focus. Focus was lost a long time ago, let's be honest. It's gonna look like it has a face on the back. Actually, that's not the right one. Let's bring this back. I have an idea to try and make it a little bit more simplistic. It's going to give the back end just some weird curves to it, but we'll kind of pretend that those don't exist for at least the couple minutes that this takes to try and fill this in. Because I was thinking about using some of these kind of triangular pieces to give this an angle, and then we can kind of come up like this and have the exhaust be some weird like triangle stack that exits out of the back. It's a bad idea, but it's also an amazing idea, so you'll just have to trust me on this one for now until I finish it, which I might not. Okay, come on. Where are the triangular pieces? Come on now. Triangles are cool. Sometimes, depends on the day. Alright, the game has decided triangles are uncool. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's put one of these pieces. Oh yeah, no, that's exactly it. Oh, please. It's kind of weird that I'm oh geez, whoops. Go back to where you were. I'm basically taking these pieces and undoing a lot of the previous work that I did, but that's kind of the point, I guess. If that sticks up a little bit extra, it's not a big deal because that is on an upper layer, and apparently it is a big deal because it is overriding it. I swear, this thing is on layer 4, and this thing still clips into it, so I guess that's not quite right. This is gonna be so strange. Shark fin? Is this suddenly an animal-themed vehicle? I guess I kind of brought that upon myself, didn't I? Oh, geez, no, why? Yeah, that's not what I wanted at all. Enzo back. Yikes. Slowly dying here. Mildly losing control of existence. Just bear with me as I attempt this, because it can only go well, I assure you. You can see that gap there is very frustrating. So what I'm going to do is put it back to 3D, fix the gap, say that it's decent when it's kind of not, and then we move on to the next part. Oh. Please replicate Markiplier's face into the back of the car. What the heck? This is not based on anything. It is literally based on... I guess maybe that's not true. It is mildly based on your suggestions, but mostly based on my insanity. That is the way that I would describe this. Oh wait, that's the wrong way. No, there we go. Please, no. This is a terrible, terrible idea. Oh, it's got layers now. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to see. And then what we can do is... I don't know why I like making cars with layers. Maybe I'm just weird. Get back over there, you. Wait, I gotta find this thing. There we go. This is such a good idea. Get back in your hole. Today's just one of those days where I'm feeling like just making something just straight up terrible, just horrible, but I'm really enjoying it. We started off like, you know what, it's gonna go great today. Stuff is gonna work out nice, and now all of a sudden I'm adding a big triangle to my beautiful, or once beautiful creation, and ruining every single hope that anybody had in me. But I'm also thinking about just kind of saying goodbye to that dumb triangle idea, and instead trying to make it have 10 exhaust pipes for no reason at all, other than it kind of seems like fun. Or we could just go for the classic. Maybe, you know what, let's let's make these 3D. Let's make them chrome, because chrome is the future. I'm gonna have to make this a black, otherwise it's not gonna work in BeamNG. And then we'll make it big, big. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. What we can do as well, and I was just thinking about this, is let's make a new color for these pieces here, of just like what I've done before is I've done like extremely dark carbon fiber with hardly any shine, and I feel like that just works out for these back ends. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh no. There we go. Ooh, interesting. Interesting indeed. That is a very, very strange back end. It's not helped by the fact that this is the wrong color as well. So let's make that carbon. Gotta shrink it down a little so it matches. Weird, yes. Yeah, I think I saw your comment before, Josh, unless I just missed all of it. A diffuser? Yeah, okay, diffuser is a good idea as well. It's kind of like this weird, mildly awkward shape all the way up, and then it kind of resembles a frog, kind of. Kinda, many kindas, lots of worry and pain. And I'm also going to make these surrounds carbon because I think that's cool. Now that we have this cool carbon theme going on, we may as well just run with it with literally everything. That's pretty sweet. I have another idea, and I think this one's arguably worse than what I just did. But if I swap these for duals and then I flip them around sideways, okay, this is gonna go great. I can tell you that right now. So we got duals. They're sideways. There are 4 of them. Why is it like that? And then we can have like quad exhaust out the back just because I think that's cool. Maybe I'm just weird. That isn't a very likely possibility. Ooh, that's cool. I just feel like it fills up that space a bit better to have quad exhaust coming out the side. That's awesome. All right. Nice. Does it have intakes on the doors? You know, we have not worked out the intake system at all. I literally have spent like 30 minutes just looking on the back, just working on the back. That's it so far. It's been a while, quite a while. This is what it takes to make perfection, all right? Perfection. Triple front wipers. It does actually mildly resemble a Pagani now. I thought I was going to hate the 10 taillights, but I actually don't mind it. Forgot about that anime waifu on there. Oh my goodness. Let's delete that for now. Oh no, oh man, I forgot I had all this garbage. Lonely drivers. That's gotta be the worst one of all those. Man, how do you get that lonely? Let's see. I'm gonna try to finish the back end before I go too far because I feel like if I don't finish the back, then I'm never gonna finish it because there's just so much going on back here. And I was thinking about potentially just adding in like a diffuser like this, but as you can see, that kind of screws with our entire philosophy here. It does leave a big open chunk, but it also cuts the cut, so I don't know about that. What we can do instead is we'll just make something custom, because custom is cool and custom takes a long time. Oh, these are for the front, but, well, these are for the back. Caught me thinking here. Thinking about doing bad things. Like leaving a giant hole in the back of the car. If we made this all the beautiful kind of muted carbon look that I got, just get rid of literally everything and black it out. There we go, that's the main one. Weird. Definitely weird. Man. I don't know. I actually really don't know. Oh yeah, custom diffuser fins. That's probably a better idea. That is a much, much better idea, actually. I've done that before, and I had a lot of fun with it, so I think we can do that. It's just about picking what material to use, and I believe I've already chosen it. You just have to make sure they're the right color as well. Oh, I gotta rotate it full 90. You know what? I think this is gonna work. That was a key word there, I think. It's entirely possible that all these fins that I create are gonna fall out when attempting to drive. I guess that's part of the charm. It's kind of like when I added teeth to that one car and I just put like way too many pieces on it. Okay, that's just very clearly attached to nothing. We might have to fix that. This is starting to cause mild issues, by the way. Strange but interesting is how I describe this. I'm going to take away this one. I'm going to space this one out further. And it's weird. It's very weird. I kind of like it. It's weird though. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to selectively raise all of these up. I feel they're a little bit too low. But other than that, that might be good for the back end, other than like a license plate on there. If we want to make it look kind of legal, then I guess we do need that. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm just kind of quick selecting fixtures at the moment, just because that's easier to do than to try and click them a lot of the time. There we go. Alright, interesting. It kind of looks like it has a mouth now, which is not ideal, but could be worse. Now we gotta... Oh my goodness, it says Texas truck on it. It's gotta be a Texas truck. No. We still need to do badges. Oh no, this is gonna be a while. Okay, just pretend you aren't in my Discord for a minute, and we'll just put that on there, seemingly at random. I'll actually put it on the front. No purpose at all. Zero reason for that. Beautiful. That's awesome, actually. The manliest Bugo even more than the man van? How could you get more manly than the man van though? Like, of all the manly vehicles on this earth, there is nothing more manly than the man van. That is why it was created. Okay, I guess we're kind of done with the back. If I over design it, then it's gonna be worse than it is. So I probably should leave that alone for now. Um, we could do a number plate. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my voice. We could do a number plate, but oh, the modular engine blocks and the extra spare wheels and stuff as well. But we could do that. There's a gun. Maybe I should have put that Texas truck on there. We'll have to do that eventually. Yeah, no, it is entirely impossible to get more manly than the man van, which is the most manly vehicle voted by all women on this earth. Every single one of them voted, even the ones that were just born, and they decided that that was the most manly van they've ever seen, even if they're blind. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened. In order for that one to become the most manly van, anything else is going to have to pass a very similar test, which is unlikely. Gun rack on your Texas supercar? Oh my goodness. Are we good to make fun of the United States here? Is that okay? Oh no. One of the things is, like, most of the people who watch my channel are from the US, so I try to avoid too many US jokes. I joke about being against Imperial, though. Man, the Imperial system, trash. I'm really trying to make this fit, but everything I try to do in terms of these wings just doesn't work in some way. Like, this one's slightly popping out. At could be a styling feature, I guess. I don't know. It's just not. It's not working. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board on that. Metric system is the best system. Don't at me. Oh no, have I sparked a debate? Is this somehow going to turn into a war between imperial and metric? You know, there's a reason that most other countries in the world use metric. That's all I'm going to say. I so the whole reason that this came up is just because, like, I took engineering in school, civil engineering in particular, and we had to be able to do conversions between metric and imperial on the fly. So when we were doing tests, some of our questions would be metric, some of them would be imperial, and we had to know the differences between the units, and, like, have to be able to accurately change between them. Like, sometimes we would get questions where it was half imperial, half metric, and, like, we had to figure that out, and it was a pain in the butt. I hated it. So that's why I don't like imperial. Fractions suck. Let's get those fractions out of here. That is my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's my own experience, right? So not everybody has to deal with that. If you live in the U.S. and you're in a position where you never have to touch metric, then metric can seem dumb, I guess. But, like, personally, it's the way to go. It's a lot more simple. Like, in Canada, we have Oh no, did we just lose like 20 viewers after I said that? I'm just kidding. But interesting. Me love Imperial. What? I don't know, like, it's weird that people could get so hung up on that kind of thing. I guess it is completely changing the way that you do measurement, which is significant, but you gotta change. You gotta change sometime. It's about time, US. You gotta change. Change for the better and become imperial with the, or become metric with the rest of us. So I had this really terrible idea to kind of style this car's front after an LMP car. Um, the back end is cool, and now the front end is less than cool, but I think we can make it cooler. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Where was I born? Is that a question for me? I was born in Canada, and I am still in Canada. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that to be a bad thing, though. It's not a bad country. I actually kind of like the inside light look version of this better than the outside, but outside does make more sense. However, I don't need to make sense. We out here making dollars. That was a really bad joke, so I'm just gonna go with this instead. Um, Maybe, just maybe. See, it's kind of an advancement on this headlight, because I don't like that headlight, so I'm using this instead. What we could do is cry, and leave this very simple. The reason that it doesn't need to be complex is because the engine isn't even up here. There's nothing here. Like it's just empty space in terms of the model itself. There's push rods up in the front. That's all you get. You get a nice frunk, I guess, in this, but that is literally it. Wow, those are gigantic. Uh, and now broken. Okay, that's probably not going to work. For some reason, they just go huge on this car. And really shockingly broken. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Hmm. I kind of want to give it pop-ups. I know that that's not really 2020 of me, but I just feel like that's kind of what it should be. A ducktail? I guess we could try a ducktail. I'm pretty sure I used a ducktail at one point. Yeah, well, I think what you're talking about, pigeon mail, like, um, in terms of engineering, like, you gotta use both. Because each unit, each, like, oh, jeez, I'm just stretching. Okay, this is hard for me to admit, but I'm just kidding. But each, like, unit system has their own pluses and minuses. Like, inches is a really good measurement. It, don't clip that. Inches is a really good measurement for just like practical applications. Like if you're thinking of how tall something is, generally, like because I use both systems, I'm not going to think that my computer is, I don't know, it's like 58 centimeters tall or something like that. It's probably more than that. It's definitely more than that. But maybe I think I'll go and look at it and be like, wow, that's like a, I don't know, maybe it's 18 inches, something like that. Like in my work, we do a lot of work with pipes, because that's kind of where I am in civil engineering. I'm in municipal engineering, and so we talk about pipes in terms of millimeters, but then we also talk about pipes in terms of inches. So like a 150 millimeter pipe is a 6-inch pipe, and then an 8-inch pipe would be a 200 mil pipe. I think I'm doing that math right. I should know this stuff anyway. But a lot of the time in the field, like it's a lot easier to break out a ruler or a tape measure most of the time, measure it with inches instead of millimeters, because millimeters are like small and hard to understand sometimes, even when converted to centimeters, and then meters. If you're going into decimals in the field, like a lot of the guys aren't going to get it. So having it be in inches is just like easy. But anyway, let's try that ducktail idea, just because, I don't know, we got a bunch of different options. I'm not sure which ducktail to use, to be honest with you. This stuff here is something I've tried before. These are ducktails. Let's try a bent one. Let's go with this. We can always change it. So you suggested, I gotta scroll up now, stretch it out, flatten it a lot, and put it across the two bulges at the back. Okay, let's stretch it, flatten it, cry a little bit. My daily routine. Oh, that's actually, hold on a minute. We can flatten it a bit and we can get away with that. If I can find a... Wait a minute now. That's not quite rounded. Oh, yes, okay. I'm liking where this is going. I'm gonna heed your advice to an extent, and then kind of build it a little bit differently to my own sort of spec, by bringing that out a little bit. That's cool. I think that's pretty darn cool. We can push that back in just a touch, and we could paint it potentially carbon black. I don't know about that. We may come back to that. Yeah, the ducktail wing is actually cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm using inches in terms of the wheels as well. Like when you think about this, these are 22-inch rims, even though I have everything set to metric. I actually really like the simplicity of this front end. I hardly want to change it. We need a lip of some kind, because otherwise this car is not going to drive straight. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my classic lip technique, because I just like doing this. These wedges are fun. If you didn't notice there, I just duplicated this so I can get it to be bigger and wrap it around the entire front of the car. And then what you can do as well, you can take the other one. This one might not be needed, actually. Yeah, it's hardly needed. So we can get rid of that. Somebody's honking. Stay away. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That is nice. Just nice and simple like that. That really changes the look of the car for the better. That is super, super nice. If metric is so cool, why does a calendar have 12 months? Man, I need 30 centimeters worth of months, please. Josh, you need to get out there, buy this game, and do this idea to the car yourself, because you're coming up with some great ones. I'm not going to be able to do all the things you suggest, though. Yeah, so I mean, are we still talking about metric and imperial? Because in Canada we used to use imperial, and it was very much used by older generations. So like my grandparents, for instance, hardly know metric at all, and that kind of contributes to the issue of like the issue of like people not fully understanding it here sometimes. Like all of our units are in kilometers per hour, obviously. But if I talk to my grandpa about something, he's still going to say miles. He might even mean kilometers, but he'll say miles just because that's what he's used to. Even my mum, to an extent, like how it's been passed down through the generations. I don't say miles, I say kilometers, but I still use inches for basic measurement. Sometimes. Usually I use centimeters. I really like center wipers on these kind of ridiculous cars. I don't know why, it just feels right. Man, how the heck are we going to put door handles on something where the door goes all the way down here? I just realized that. Like, what the heck? Also, the engine sticks out through the body. That's kind of cool. And somehow this stream has turned into like a ridiculously long discussion more than anything, which is awesome. That's kind of what I was hoping we would do. But man, okay, so we're missing a few things. What else do we need? I see gullwing on there. That's an interesting idea. Back door near the glass, I guess so. What else we got? I guess strange. Very strange. Gullwing could be cool. I suspect that that's kind of what would happen. Centered headlight. MC12, I guess. Maybe. I think this is supposed to be a oh, somebody said what it was before, an Aston Valkyrie, something like that. We're still gonna work on venting the venting the engine. It's not something I've thought about yet. Oh, jeez. Okay, we can come back to that. True, I could just cover the lines. That is always an option. I just noticed now that, I mean, this is a mid-engine car, right? So there's still room in the back. Theoretically, this car could have a trunk if it doesn't interfere with the exhaust, because there's a big hole there now and you can see the transmission. It doesn't have to be a very big transmission. Oh, it really doesn't want to flip. Yeah, it doesn't. It does not want to. Okay, yeah, we do need to add some accessory vents to it, I would say. Just a few vents, Yeah, geez. We need a lot of vents, don't we? There's so many superchargers and stuff here that could make this interesting. What I want to do is have a big window to the you measure using household objects. Yeah, I'm one chair away. I guess if you want to speak practically, I guess that makes sense. So something I did on the Magnum Opus, which was kind of fun, was using some like massive vents to go all the way down the car and then all the way back up. And I thought it was quite interesting. But what I want to do on this one is try and just cut a big hole where the engine is and then work with that. So we'll see. Something else I was thinking about was, wow, these are really quite tiny. Oh geez, no, come back to me. They're quite stuck as well. There we go. Yes, 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 we need vents like this on the side. These are deep as well. That goes right into the chassis. Yeah, that's the perfect one. Yeah, well, instead of having a rear window, I was planning on covering it up. Dragon scales? That's an interesting idea. Plastic window at the rear, large vents. Interesting. Okay, this cutting into the chassis is interesting as well, but I was just thinking is immediately after doing that, my wife is texting me. She's working today, unfortunately. But let's see about putting these on the side of the car. It really doesn't want to go there. It is fighting me every chance that he gets. I'm going to take off the locking. Oh. Oh, maybe that's why it doesn't want to go up there. That's strange, but you know, I don't hate it actually. That's actually kind of cool. I like the way it forms with the window. I think I'm going to try that in terms of a vent. That's really weird. It's kind of cool. Let's go with that. All right. I gotta stop being distracted. Let's obviously we still have this massive side piece to fill. I was actually thinking about putting graphics on the car. Jokingly, before I was thinking about putting some of this weirdness on there. There's also I didn't realize that I had this. I kind of just download every mod, so I'm not sure sometimes. Lamborghini, yes. Okay, this is a. Let's just say that this is a joint venture between Sastiva and Lamborghini. Oh yes, Lamborghini engine and Bugo chassis. Yes, I am married. Okay, let's go on to the next bits. I guess side intakes. I know that side intakes exist, but I'm not 100% on how I want to fit them, as with everything in life. Okay, new idea. Just because we're kind of following the vent trail at this point, so I may as well just go and go full out, make this even worse, but also better, much better. By that I mean adding in Magnum Opus / Bugatti Veyron style intakes, which we can do like this. Fit them together, something like that. they kind of fit together. And then we have this to delete and this to expand as big as they can get. This is hopefully gonna work. Oh, it's cutting into the engine. That's close to what I wanted. Okay, I like the way that these things come out. That's really interesting. Lamborghini concept. Oh yeah, we totally forgot about the 10 theme, didn't we? How old am I? Old? No, I'm 25. I feel old though. I'll be 26 this year. I kind of feel like an old man at times. You young people. Just wait, I'll be like yelling at people, yelling at kids from my lawn just soon enough. It's gonna happen. I spent time yesterday cutting my grass. I felt like a grandfather. I know I need to take care of my stuff, but sometimes it feels old to be responsible, okay? And yes, I am totally butchering everything I've ever done in my life. Let's shrink this down further. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these increasing in layer. So this is going to be layer 4. Trust me on this. I'm experimenting today. This will be layer 2. Oh, that's so strange, but so cool at the same time. That's really, really weird. I actually really like this. 25 and married? Yes, 25 and married. 55? You know, I mean, 55 isn't even that old either. Like, people these days live to be 80 plus unless you have health issues, so still got a lot of time left. I like to kind of, I don't know, try to see life in the sense of how much time I have left to get done the things I need to get done. I actually did do a collab with Shiny Odd at one point. It's a very, very long stream if you want to see that. It is like exceptionally long. In which he was dying at an accelerated rate, so oh my goodness, this is I'm literally just making a trough inside the car now, which is not really what I had anticipated, but it is kind of interesting. Oh man, I'm ruining this car, aren't I? Streams are a time to experiment. That's how I see it. We're experimenting, having fun, crying, the usual. That's strange. That's cool. Okay, more ideas have popped into my mind in terms of intakes. Does everybody hate this already, by the way? I'm hoping that that you don't mind my experimentation too much. Because what we need to do at this point is just kind of cry mainly. Yes. Bring on the tears. Not the salty tears, just the wow, this guy is ruining everything I once loved tears. Imperial system, man, he hates it. My favorite YouTuber hates the Imperial system and I live in the US. I can't get over it. Oh no, you're right. I definitely have made worse. Some of the vehicles I've made in the past have been true cancer, in the worst possible of ways as well. I'm just kind of coming up with ideas and just kind of doing them. One of the ones that I had was to try and place an intake on this. Even with the cutout, I actually think it makes it more interesting. like the strange looking car this is. It's almost got like a skeleton at the back that cuts into it deep. You ruined it after 3 vents? We need 10 vents. I think the car was ruined as soon as it took on the concept of being something that has only 10,000 RPM. Oh, yikes, okay. But yeah, 10,000 RPM, 1,110 horsepower, even though it could have a lot more than that. Yeah, goodness. I've kind of messed things up to an extreme extent. But I like it. That's kind of the point. Too bad we only have 4 layers, because I think that things are about to get worse here. Before they get better. Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm gonna use this piece to cover the engine. Just pretend it has some kind of intake. Actually, no, that's terrible. 3,000 years later? Yeah, no, this build was meant to be drawn out. I kind of wanted to keep things slow at the beginning, and that's where we are now. Still slow. I'm just thinking about adding in some other pieces to kind of fill some of the gaps on the car in areas where there are many gaps, and then maybe we can try it, I guess. The whole idea is to go and use this in BeamNG, obviously. It should theoretically work. It's just, it's going to be very strange. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. I kind of feel like making it so you have to like bend over all the way to open this thing up. If you want to crack the door on this thing, you gotta go all the way down, open that thing up, probably susceptible to getting dirt in it as you do. I put that on there, but I actually don't really like it. Same thing with this. The side intake idea is an interesting one. I just don't know exactly how to implement it. So we got a very strange structure on the back, kind of a weird pointed system going on at the front. I could also make all of this stuff out of carbon, which would ruin it more. Oh geez, no. Yeah, I think that ruins the top. If it has like a pointed theme like that, it just gets weird. Nice. Just don't make the door handles goofy. Yeah, I mean... Okay, well, while we're here, I feel like I should probably cover up this giant spike on the top of it. So I'm gonna add a roof vent. If any of them are mildly... Actually, I don't see anything that's even remotely shaped correctly for what I want. We're going true need for speed here for some reason because, yeah, no, that's not going to work. Well, while I'm brainstorming other ideas, I think I'm going to move on to the rest of this. Carbon ceramic brakes, that just makes the most sense. The biggest that they can be, because otherwise it'll look very strange in the wheel wells. And I'm realizing now I forgot to paint the brake calipers because they're red. They'll be black, a little bit nicer. Vents on vents on vents. No, that's the correct way of thinking there. These don't need to be that big. We'll come back to all this stuff later. Downforce, active wing, cooling flaps. This is where the big money is. We can up this downforce a little bit. We do have a wing on the back. Oh, okay. Apparently people have decided to start their lawnmowers. I'm going to quickly close the window. Just give me a second. It is actually a really lovely day outside today. However, well, I'm going to be working outside on my Infinity stuff. If you haven't checked out my second channel, you probably should if you're interested in the project car stuff. We'll come back to this later. 2 seats, we don't need 4. Handmade interior, luxury, very high quality stuff. That's going to be expensive. I'm very, very curious to see where we're at in terms of the actual like expenses of things here. Mostly because where we're going is dangerous territory. Too much downforce, but a decent curve. The wheels are a little bit off. We can fix that. Such a strange looking car. 1,791 kilos. It's pretty heavy. Probably because of a few things, and it's only 735,000. We got a lot of money to burn. There's no need to worry. Okay. Of my original $2 million budget, we are doing quite good. However, we can let things get a little bit out of control. There are a few ways to do that, including but not limited to cut out a huge side vent. That might be interesting. Just lowering the front wheel size makes a huge difference on these. 100% sportiness right there. That's what I like to see. We're gonna need that up. But yeah, just a couple of small dips in the line. That's not too bad. Overall, not even that bad a wheel spin either. Too much aero, apparently. Oh wow, perfect in the hypercar territory. 81%, not bad actually. So originally this was supposed to be a... Wait, why is the front angle so bad? Wow, this is not getting better at all. Okay, actually that is getting better here. You can see our understeer oversteer graph is doing fine. Weirdly, it is mildly into understeer. However, I'm just gonna pretend I don't see that. 66 RON, yes. This thing is very much detuned. My second channel is, yeah, it's called Brighto. Brakes are really, really strong in the front, like shockingly way too strong. So we can lower down the size a little bit. They probably don't need to be 6 pistons, most likely. Actually, it's probably better to go less pistons, bigger brakes for fade purposes. We'll keep these as 3, those as 3. That should be fine. Yeah, like I was saying, like if we put a lot of money into, say, the wheels or something, we up the quality of the wheels, the budget price is going to go up quite a bit. 800,000, that went up 50K just by upping the wheel quality. And it ruined things a little bit as well. Like, this line pretty much needs to point down, so to have it point down like that is a good thing, just for our purposes. And you can see the offset in the front is screwed, so we can fix that. But weirdly, in this game, offset actually adds weight, just because it adds material, I guess, to the vehicle. So I'm not sure if that would be outdone by having smaller tires or not, but yeah, we're still around the same as we were. Like, if I started to get a bit crazy with like quality sliders on the drivetrain, it's going to go up, but the engine quality sliders make a much bigger difference. Same thing with the body quality, is that can get very, very expensive. Very expensive indeed. Alright, so we have a very expensive car. That's our first warning. Not a big deal. Short gearing, that's something I'm going to fix. And it's reminding me that this thing can potentially do 438 kilometers an hour, which is quite fast. 436. 436.6. Goodness. There goes our wheel spin issues. Money, 930,000 on just the gearing there. Yikes. So we have 5.4%, but it's mostly in first gear, second gear. That's not unreasonable. I think that makes sense. The first gear being able to get up to 88 kilometers an hour is actually, I guess, kind of normal for these types of cars. Like, I have a manual Tibron, you guys probably know. And first gear gets up to, like, before you get really high in the revs, you could probably get to 30 kilometers an hour. And if you go much higher than that, then, I mean, you just sound crazy going down the street because you're just revving the heck out of your car. I'm going to put a little bit of money into that. We're over $1 million now. We don't have to hit 2 million. That was just an idea. There we go. That's the name of it. Unless we can come up with a better one. Aero. Oh, jeez. That's not making it any better. Just gonna have to wait for it. Oh no, there we go. So my goal in terms of downforce is trying to avoid having the front be negative. It should be positive because this is making uplift, which means theoretically as we go faster, we also lose traction on the front, which is not a good thing. Hello, welcome to the stream. Soon we're going to get into BeamNG reliabilities. Oh, jeez. Yeah, soon we'll get into BeamNG and we'll try this out and see if it actually works. That's a bit better. That's a little bit better. Oh well, we might have to just concede that one, not be able to do it the way that I want, which is fine. Better prestige, comfort. We don't really need any of that stuff, do we? It's safety. Safety's optional. I'm gonna up the suspension quality, 1.5 million. Oh, jeez. Yeah, 83 kilometers an hour in first gear seems fine. Oh, it's a I guess you can kind of see up here what the engine is if you're a little behind. But I'll answer your guys' questions. What got me into cars? I have no idea. I used to have Hot Wheels a lot as a kid. That probably did it. I had Hot Wheels in one of those like Hot Wheels play mats, so I played with those a lot. Probably too much. I used to come up with like little fantasy worlds and stuff. But I've always been interested in mechanics, and it just seems like cars have kind of taken that role. Oh boy, that's bad. Okay, so I just stiffened up the suspension considerably. I'm going to keep the car as low as it can be, which is going to be hard for us. But yeah, I've always been into mechanics, and so I just feel like I have kind of that aptitude of being hey, thanks for sticking around, Josh, and giving me some advice on how things will work. Alright, I think the only thing left to do, if we aren't going to do any more styling, which I think it's fine the way it is, this is more of a prototype. Maybe we can call it that specifically. Proto. We can see how this works in its current state, but with some mildly different suspension tuning, because this is very important in this build. Being rear-wheel drive mid-engine, it's got to be good, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. So the way that I've been tuning suspension recently is basically just moving these up and down until we get to the point where it's gonna be fine with these settings at 100% sportiness and kind of the maximum drivability that we can get. That's kind of my goal. So like just by changing this, I'm lowering it, so I'm not going to change that anymore. Same thing here. Once I get it up to 99, then I'm just going to leave it as is. Obviously, this depends on what you want to do, but if I'm going for a sports car, this just makes the most sense. There's 100% right there. That changes it, so we'll leave it. The dampers aren't actually changing the sportiness at all. So we'll lower those down just a little bit. Softer on the front isn't a bad thing. That's going to mess it up. And that's going to mess it up too. Okay, I think we're good. We'll have to see how this works. A 1,110 horsepower V10, the 10-cent Proto, the 10-cent 10 Proto. Yeah, I read your comment before. That seems to happen with certain headphones. With a very strange... I've been thinking about it in my mind as like a not a wishbone, but like a fishbone back almost. Except it's screwed up because it's also cut to reveal the engine. And not cut very well, I will admit. But, yeah. Strange, but interesting. Let's see if this car will work. I'm a huge fan of the blue color. That is probably my favorite part about it. And the white wheels. But yeah, let's try and export it. See if it works. It's going to look like this kind of in BeamNG. We'll see how the transparency works. If it works. Hopefully it does. If you forget to change the default materials a lot of the time, it doesn't quite mesh properly in BeamNG, and it'll turn it into whatever BeamNG thinks is an equivalent. And the game crashed, which is not a good sign. So let's load up BeamNG and see if this functions. You'll get a side view in a second once we pop this bad boy open. Oh my goodness. The game crashed as soon as I finished loading that up. But we're in BeamNG now. Let's just make sure that's showing for you guys. Looks like it is. Free roam, let's just go to, I don't know, grid map for now. We'll go somewhere fancy. Hey, I can't exactly claim that this is the most beautiful creation I've ever made, but for a quick 2-hour, 15-minute stream, it's not too bad. Could definitely be worse. It was worse at times. It has been worse. See example A, carriage. Alright, I'm just gonna grab my controller, squeak my chair a little bit. So the white makes it look strange on the back. You can see the red didn't work in terms of transparency. Hopefully that's not deafeningly loud for you guys. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. Okay. This thing actually does have mufflers, although not really. Straight through. I'm a big fan of those quad exhausts at the back. And we got the old hole in the car for whatever reason. It just seems like that's happening these days. We'll just pretend that's a handle. Okay, the windows may be a little bit too transparent. If they were darker, then it'd be more realistic. And the color, it looks a little bit muted in-game, actually. I'm not a huge fan of that. The carbon I made looks strange as well. Oh well, it looks a lot better in automation, but yeah, it's not terrible in BeamNG. Alright, yeah, I made it a dual clutch, so it's driving itself, basically. It's actually, oh, for rear wheel drive, which I think it's rear wheel drive, pretty sure I ticked that box. It's not actually too bad in terms of handling. It has the widest wheels that you can get on one of these cars in this game, so I think that might be part of the reason it actually handles and doesn't just do burnouts. Nice, actually. Holy. Oh, whoops. You know, for a long time I could not design a rear-wheel drive car to save my life. Like, somebody points a gun at me, actually that would be a bit of a stressful situation. But somebody tasked me with making a rear-wheel drive car. They're like, hey, can you do this? You've got 250 hours in automation. Can you make a good rear-wheel drive car? And the answer was always no. And the answer is still no, but it is a little bit more yes than it used to be. That's I think actually I might have dynamic reflection off. Usually I have that off for the purposes of... Oh no, it is on. It doesn't make much difference. This is it off. And then this is it on. What's the engine? It is an 1100 horsepower V10, which you can kind of see it right there. Oh my goodness. Actually, I think even though the back lights, which were controversial when they were created, they're not actually that terrible. They're pretty reasonable, all things considered. They don't look like they belong on this car. Like they almost look like aftermarket headlights or taillights for a Honda Civic or something, but they are kind of interesting. Whoops. Hey, thanks for joining in, Car Dude 666. That's a lot of S's and also deafening for that one guy. Sorry about that. It's actually really fast, like shockingly quick. I think what we need to do is take this thing to the drag strip once it finishes killing itself. Turn off the engine here. Hit some streets. Oh yeah, no, we gotta hit some actual maps here. I just wanted to see what it would look like in the grid map, but for now we can jump on over to West Coast. West Coast, USA, the old drag strip, and we'll see what it'll do here. Full traction makes a huge difference on these cars. If you want to download this car, you mean? I haven't published it, and I probably am not going to. Generally, I haven't been publishing the builds that I've made recently. Okay, S1. I'm not going to time it. Actually, you know what? Let's time it. Let's time it, see what this does. What should we race against? That's the real question. The carriage is probably a no-go. Maybe the Barbie car? I feel like we're probably going to win. I don't think this car has any more than 300 horsepower, if I remember correctly. But there's always the possibility that I suck, in which case... That's not terrible. It shifts pretty quick in sport mode. 9.25, I believe, is what I saw there. And our opponent just finished at a 13.9. We almost finished the entire lane before they got there. Yeah, 9.25 is quick. That's actually quite quick. I'm interested to select an opponent of similar performance, or maybe a random one. Let's go against a D series with a crew cab and a short bed. I feel like this is not going to go well for one of these parties unless that thing has a massive engine just hanging out. Okay, different technique this time. I had myself on the brakes and then went on the... Boom, 9243. That is a little bit quicker, probably because I didn't have to shift up twice. And 16.5. Oh man, you know, the thing is, I don't actually have the magnum opus in the game at the moment. Let me see if I can get that to work. As you can see, most of my mods are inactive. So if we just quickly update them and activate them all, then maybe they'll work. Okay. Uh-oh. If the game was going to break, it is going to break now. Of all the places, of all the times when it would destroy itself, this would be the time. I had those turned off specifically to ward off crashes in BeamNG because I was experiencing some, so that's kind of why. But yeah, let's race it against the Magnum Opus. I think the Magnum Opus has 900 horsepower or something like that, so it's not a bad matchup, actually. This car probably weighs more, so to have them side by side will be fun. Now you can see all of my automation cars. There are quite a few, just a few. Gotta find this thing. Oh, that's not even mine, that's Canadian steel. Alright, let's get this thing. Okay. Magnum Opus versus this beautiful creation, which is not a Magnum Opus by any stretch. However, we gotta pick which version of the Magnum Opus because there are several. There's the 1, there's the V2, there's the V3. I think I'm just gonna go against the V3 to start, and we'll see if we can tame this thing. Come on, load up. Come on. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I haven't touched this version of the car for a while. And I forgot to turn off the cinematic entrance so we get to view it driving in slowly. Oh yeah, that car is all-wheel drive, so I don't think I'm gonna have much of a chance off the line. Oh, it's gone off the line. Oh no. Oh wow, that car is much faster. Wow, it is shockingly faster. 8.1. Oh no, that was my best time too. 9041, and I might have been destroyed there. Okay, I'm gonna roll back the clock, and we'll go against the detuned Magnum Opus V1, and we'll see if that one. Oh, that's bad sounding. But we'll see if the Magnum Opus V1 is a bit more of a challenge for me, because this one's detuned. It has a different engine. I think it does, at least, if I'm remembering my own lore here. Oh, it doesn't want to stage. Yeah, we'll have to. Oh, I just realized I'm in comfort mode. Okay, we gotta go for no traction control. That's gonna make a big difference. Oh no, it doesn't want to stage it. Ah man, okay. So the way to fix this issue is literally just to redo the map. I've had this happen a few times. Yeah, I think we were mildly thrashed, and even though I was in comfort mode, changing it to sport or no ESC, it's probably not going to change much. I think we're probably still going to get slapped. But in this case, it's me slapping me, so I consider that to be fine. If I'm beating myself with my own cars, yeah, that's okay. Oh no, where is it? Where is it? There it is. The fastest Bugo I have? Oh geez, actually that's a good idea. Let's race it against this Magnum Opus, now that I remember that there's such a thing as turning off traction control. And then maybe, just maybe, we'll race the 1,000 horsepower Bugo, which is a rocket ship. The thing is ridiculously fast. And horribly geared as well, I should say. Terrible gearing. Okay, Magnum Opus 1, give us the best chance we can get. No cinematic entrance or anything fancy like that. Let's just go free, clear, up into sport. Come on, stage yourself, stage. Oh no, apparently this car just won't stage. That's fine, we'll pick out the other one. I guess this car, for whatever reason, the AI can't work with it. So we're getting a rematch instead. And again? Okay, let's attempt to race something that is more reasonable, and we'll see if the top speed Bugo world record holder, for example, might be something the AI can drive. Or wait, that's what I'm driving now. There we go. Let's just put it up against one of its own vehicles. Actually, this is a mod vehicle, but this has suddenly turned into a drag racing showcase here. Oh, that one's staged. The car's wiggling. Oh no. The gearing on this is so long. We might not even hit like third gear by the end of this. Oh. Yeah, second gear, 350 kilometers an hour. It's beautiful. 18, oh man. Okay, that was really bad. Let me switch back to the car that we're actually supposed to be driving. That was just a test to make sure the game actually works. Yeah, we have to drive off of this and then drive onto it again to... Oh, fully off of it. And then fully onto it to make sure that it works again. It's weird that it's causing so many issues, but I might have to race this car driving the other one, which is always fine. Just doing the reverse. Never mind, it's broken. Game's now perfect. Is there a download? I'm sorry, but you will have to make this ridiculous badness by yourself for now. Sometimes I post cars in the Discord though, depending on if people are using them for other things. I find that with the drag strip, you have to kind of settle on what car you're using unless you want to reload, because you'll have to reload every time you want to change cars for yourself, but it's usually fine as long as you're only changing the AI's cars. Weird, yes. No clue why. Okay, let's try this again versus the Magnum Opus V3, and then let's face the fastest Bugo that I can think of without the cinematic cam. Without the ESC, and I mean, this is exactly what we did before, so theoretically it should work. I mean, I did it twice, so... Oh, I unstaged myself. Ah. There we go. Yeah, it's weird the Magnum Opuses don't want to stage themselves. It worked the first time, and now it has not worked the second time. So I'm going to play some cheeky... Get in lane. Now this is how you do a proper drag race. I feel like this is the only way that I could possibly... Oh geez, I didn't get off it in time. Alright, one more time. Maybe the cinematic camera fixes it. Okay, let's watch it drive in slowly again. Every single time, car, come on now. It's weird how much it hesitates when it does this. Like, the game is trying to keep it under 15 kilometers an hour, but this engine is made for way, way more than that. Alrighty. Oh, it's staged. Gone. Oh no. Yeah, no, it's toast. We are destroyed. 8.8 is actually my fastest time thanks to sport mode, but 8.1, man oh man. Okay, so the cinematic camera apparently fixes it. And that means we can probably face the fastest Bugo. There's the top speed record number 2, there's top speed number 1. Both of those are super long gearing. And then those ones, I mean, they're probably not going to win. As we saw, they're a little bit slow. There's the Bugo 1000, which is hilariously quick. There's also the Bugo Super, which is a fun car. And then there's the Need for Speed edition. So let's go Bugo 1000 in its very classic green. And let's see if this thing can even fight me. Yeah, no, the drag races are very mildly screwed. And yes, this Bugo has stock tires as well. Bugo 1000 has 1000 horsepower twin turbo V6, I believe. And then not much else going for it. It's a bit of a disaster. Oh no, it's already cheating. Oh, it smoked the tires. Oh, it's gone. No, it. I went in the opponent's lane apparently. Come on. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Come back. That was an 8-8. The fastest Bugo is a 12-5. This is the easiest way to compare cars, by the way, and so that's why I do this often. I'm actually kind of interested if this car can beat a car with 3,900 horsepower. I haven't touched this one for a long time, so I'm interested to see. Yeah, no, this car is also all-wheel drive, also ridiculously quick, and you can see the tires on it are a little bit on the wider end of things, so I feel like I'm probably not going to do much versus the V3. Oh, it's staged. Oh, I accidentally went into manual mode. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to do that again. But I don't think it matters. 7-6. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there is nothing. There is nothing we could do about that. I'm just trying to think of one of my cars that's actually like a reasonable challenger for this. And there isn't much. Okay, let's go for the real Supra. This car is really quite good. Some of the cars that I made around this time were just a little bit weird, as you're about to see. This one is one of those vehicles. Sub-bay and a few too many anime-inspired graphics, so much so that the game just said no to them. I'm pretty sure this car has a ridiculous amount of power as well, so we should be able to do something against it. I'm going to stay in sport mode this time. I'm not going to make that mistake. Ooh. Okay, apparently it's a lot slower than I thought it was. 8.6. That's got to be my fastest, or one of the fastest times I've gotten in this car. 14. Oh man, that's way slower than I thought it was. Alright, a few more of these, and then, yeah. Oh man. I just wanna race on my old cars now. That's kind of the way things are going. The back wheels are gone. Oh no. Okay, so this is it's kind of like a Rolls Royce. Except it has no back wheels, so I'm very interested to see how it runs. I'm not gonna go very fast here. Oh, no way. It actually works. Oh no, never mind. Come on, car. Stop slowing down, you got this. 18.9. Oh man. Okay, so the reason the wheels don't work on that car is because the rims are maximum sized and absolutely huge. So because the tires are so tiny, it makes it so that the car doesn't actually work most of the time. All right, let's race against a legit race car from BeamNG's own mod library. Something with rear-wheel drive that is much, much more dangerous than the thing that I've made, probably because of the tuning or lack thereof, maybe? I can barely drive that car without traction control, so I feel like we should be able to race against it with the AI if they can keep it straight. Ooh, decent. And it's gone. Well, seems that we're gonna have to build a challenger for this car, because 8.7 in the dregs is pretty fast. That car did a 10. I think I can do better, depending on the situation. I should be able to get a better time than that. And wow, those red lights really glow when you have that on. No traction control, and this becomes an entirely different car. That is nearly uncontrollable. Yeah. Well, at least it has a lot of room in the front end to crash into stuff. I kind of realized that I've only done drag races so far, but I'm going to quickly turn back on the traction control. Sport mode, please. I don't want to die too much. Just a little bit of death, not too much, please. Thank you. I'm thinking we just kind of crawl through this hole in the fence and then see what the racetrack is all about. Just quickly. Oh, wow, okay. It definitely steps out of itself a little bit, and it doesn't turn particularly well, which is fine. It's actually not that bad. It wasn't made for this, let's just put it that way. I am absolutely terrible at tuning cars for a track. Just horrible. Keep yourself together, man. Keep it together. Oh, that's quick. Gonna have to go down a few gears. Oh, there we go. Start finish line up here. Yeah, no, this car is a rocket ship. I'm definitely happy to add it to my library of vehicles that I have in automation and BeamNG. It was fun to make. Thank you guys for sticking around for it. Despite the weirdness and the fact that this stream is nearly 3 hours long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Before you go, leave a like on this stream. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, it's going to be up immediately after this stream ends. So no need to worry. If you miss something, you can go back and watch it. And yeah, this stream will be there for you. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you again next week. I got another stream coming up, Need for Speed, and another video coming up, hopefully a collab with a bunch of other automation YouTubers. We'll see how that goes. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you again next time. I gotta go eat some lunch, and yeah, then I gotta go work on my Infinity, try to get that thing a little bit more sorted. It needs some more work, like quite a bit. Anyway, thanks guys.